So the white man is not in control in Tanzania, and here's a story about how you can tell. Let me put it this way. Basically, my water meter was stolen. Okay, who cares? Your water meter is stolen, right? Now, here's where it gets complicated. Because my water meter was stolen, I can't have water in my house, pretty much, right? I can't have water in my house because I don't have a water meter. Makes sense. So you say to yourself, okay, your water meter was stolen, then obviously you hit up the water company, and the water company will give you a replacement meter. You know, you'll pay for the replacement meter, and you'll have water the next day, right? Yeah, you think so. No. Your water meter is stolen. You don't get another water meter for another 4 or 5 months. So you don't have water in your house for another 4 to 5 months. And this kind of tells you, oh yeah, this white boy's not in charge, right? And I'm not saying that, oh, well, you know, if the white man was in charge, you know, we would have this shit. It's just, you know, kind of like, if like, it's not about white or black. It's kind of like if there was some universal government, you know, some universal government just have this absolute control all over the planet, then yeah, you would probably already have a freaking water meter because you have this universal government. You don't have that here. So you go there and you talk to countless people. You say, let me speak to the manager. You try to be a Karen. You say, let me speak to the manager. And they're like, nah, you're not going to speak to the manager. You're going to speak to this person. Nah, you're not going to speak to that person. You're going to speak to this person. Or they just send you to some random person and say, this is the manager, and it's not the manager, right? It's this whole protocol, that it kind of tells you, look, there's no universal government that's running everything, right? There's no universal government that's running everything. What you have is essentially a nation that's kind of like mostly incompetent, but at the same time, insofar as it's mostly incompetent, it's kind of an indication that, oh, you don't have some competent background, like some competent superpower pulling all the strings everywhere, you know? And I'm not saying that there's no effect, no impact, but like I said, you go to the water company, you don't even find a white person. Like you go, you say, all right, let me speak to the manager. The manager is a Tanzanian, you know? Like he's never there, but he's a Tanzanian. So it's like, or even you go to I even went to the freaking main office of the water company here, right? The main office. And they were like, no, the manager's not here. Like it doesn't matter where you go. So it's like, if you had this universal government, you had this, this whole big white power structure in the background, you wouldn't have this. And again, it has nothing to do with, well, white people and black people operate differently. No, I'm just saying, if you had some superpower that was, pulling the strings in every freaking avenue of your life, then you really would have a more efficient system. Just plain as day. But the fact that you have inefficient systems, that tells you, you know what? Actually, there is no superpower, but that also means that there's room for improvement. That means that, oh yeah, we can make our countries more efficient. We can make our continent more efficient. And I think that's really the work that we can do as we move forward in this country, like as we move forward in our lives, right? We can take the techniques that are more efficient. We can take the techniques that can be of better use to a greater number of people. We can take those techniques that we pick up in the West, if you will, or that we pick up in the East, or that we pick up in other places of Africa. We can take these techniques, and if we take these techniques, we can make a difference for our people. Right? And that's really the big takeaway, because a lot of people are saying, hey, you know what? I think that this, I think there's a white power, in charge of everything. I think that there's white people, if you go to Africa, it doesn't matter, you can't hide from white power. Yes, you can. Like, you can literally hide from white water. Yeah, you can, like you go to the power company, it's the same damn thing. It's not some efficient system, right? Life is what you make of it or what other people make it for you. And the reality is that if you're in the West, white people are making the life for you. And if you're comfortable with that, because again, if you're the water power level, they would solve it. You know, they'll solve it in a week at most. But if you had a water, I mean, not, you know, obviously not if you're, you know, you have lead poisoning in your water, obviously, right? But my point is that, you know, if you are okay with another people standing over you and got no obligations towards you, then, you know, stay in the West. But if you're saying to yourself, hey, I actually do want to escape this experiment, even at the cost of a lot of ease of life, then for what it's worth, you know, get out of the West. You know what I mean? Like get out of the West, because here you have freedom, even if that freedom is a little bit like, okay, I don't have water for freaking, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, right? I don't have internet for 9 months. That's the freedom you could get, you know? And it's okay. For me, it's okay. For me, it's like, you know what? I would never want to be a slave. I would never have another person control, like another race, control everything for me, right? And even if my brothers and sisters are a little bit inefficient, a little bit incompetent, for me, that's okay. And that's all I'll say. Shem Tep.